What's going on, patrons, subscribers, fans, and followers from around the world? It's Jeremy Alexander Newsom with your IR4 coin market update, and yeah, I've heard. I may have gotten 400,000 messages, text messages, tweets, LinkedIn's, WhatsApps, Discords, Instagrams, pokes, MySpaces, carrier pigeons, envelopes, messages, tweets, stock twits, high fives, and just random messages that the crypto markets are tanking. And that's something that we pretty much understood and knew, mostly back over here. This really gorgeous candle came in on the 3rd of August. You got a beautiful pennant pattern, and the analysis was quite simple. If it breaks out of this pennant pattern, go long. And if it does not break out of that pennant pattern, do not go long. Either go long, either go bearish, or don't do anything. Anyway, so the good news is there is a little bit of a lower shadow, and now we have kind of like a new support, new pivot for right now on Ethereum and pretty much just other coins in general. So as far as like where the low begins, we will see if this is it. I don't necessarily think it is, but it could be. The good news, honestly, actually, really good news, is Bitcoin's been holding up. As long as Grande Longlegs can keep sprouting his Bitcoinage from around the globes, we should be all right on Bitcoin. And not only that, but just the market in general, as far as a recent potential recovery. I say recent, like 2020 recovery. This would still be a viable possibility. 100 simple on Bitcoin's at 5,065. Still doable that we can get down there, but with this little nice high wave candle, if we do pop out of here, that could be a decent and relatively okay move on Bitcoin. But I do like this hammer. And what's interesting about this hammer is, again, very similar to recent hammers on the cryptos, we could found a short-term bottom, and you are able to play short-term bottoms. So even if it pops for 2 to 3 days, remember, crypto's not dead. You can still trade it. You can just buy long, go short, take advantage of these moves, but you do have a little bit of a double bottom here on the hourly on Bitcoin. So just remember, there are always opportunities out there everywhere with all of these coins. Now, one of the stronger ones has been Stellar Lumen, XLM USD, and it still has not taken out this major support of about 17 cents on the daily and also on the weekly. That's a good sign. Right, so some of them, even though they are doing their best impression of a rock in water, like Ethereum and Litecoin, EOS is not. So here's EOS trading into its really good support, exact same low that it bounced off of in April, and now you're trying to form a Morningstar reversal. So there's some hope out there for sure. Now granted, Litecoin, which I mentioned, and really if you've been keeping track of the IR4 podcast and reviews, I've been mentioning is probably one of the weaker coins. Especially if it breaks through this 100 simple on a weekly chart. This is on the Kraken exchange, so at this particular level you're probably looking at a trade down to, at minimum, I would assume $37.89. And that is, again, especially going to happen if we take out this low from this hammer. Now if this hammer holds and we break above there, entry, stop, something like that, that could look really nice. One of the ones that is just getting wrecked is Dash, and Dash on the weekly chart here is just a huge head and shoulders pattern. You had that flag pattern making lower lows. It's at 146. Now granted, today it's actually up 5%. So it did get above the high of yesterday, but a lot of bearish volume here on Dash. It's gonna be a while for this capitulation to end, for accumulation to really start beginning. It's going to be a bit. And the fun part about accumulation is we could do something like this, just as a reminder for all of my hodlers and crypto nerds and Bitcoin enthusiasts, digital distributed ledger technology specialists, fans and followers of the IR4 podcast. Just keep your eyes on an accumulation phase, because there's a lot of money to make in these ebbs and flows, and I do still think that we will have a recovery on a lot of these coins. Maybe not all of them, but specifically Bitcoin, most likely Ethereum. Stellar Lumen, definitely a strong one, at least holding up very well through most of these. We'll find out about Dash. I'm not really entirely sure. We'll see. Still like them, still like their project, still like their team, but Here's Monero, and Monero is also just getting shredded. Monero, that trend is just dirty. Lower highs, lower lows, still just weak. We'll find out how she holds up, team. They are at some really good supports. They have posted some lower shadows. This could be a good opportunity to make some quick gains, but your stop losses are there. They are viable, and they are easy to spot. Entries, stops, all across the board. We take out the low from yesterday, and you might as well rename crypto the slip and slide of the South for the next few weeks and months, as we likely will have a little bit more blood in the streets. And then eventually, some smart money will start stepping in and picking up some of the coins. The question is, which one? I don't know. We'll find out. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, love, live, learn. You guys rock. Thanks. Bye.